Shablamo. Okay.
It is now recording.
All right.
Sweet.
Do you guys want a little bit of background
Would
about
love
what's going
to.
on?
Yes. Please.
Okay. So, the basic premise is you guys are in the Andromedan galaxy, which is the closest galaxy to the Milky Way. It's several 100,000 billion years away. But you guys are each on your own different planets, doing your own different things. And there is, well, from what you guys know, there is a main structure of an empire that resides within the galaxy. It's called the Hellion Empire. Or, sorry, the Hellion Imperium is what it's called. Hellion, and then Imperium. Imperium. Yep. The Hellion Imperium came into existence in the Andromeda Galaxy hundreds of years ago. But they are the general race of Terrans that came from Earth in the Milky Way galaxy. The last known ship that sailed from the Milky Way to Andromeda was called the Resolve. The Resolve was a generation ship, and it took about 6 to 8 generations to actually make it to Andromeda.
Sorry, from the Milky Way to Andromeda.
Mm-hmm.
Was the what ship?
It was called the Resolve. Well, the planet was dying, so the only way to resolve that crisis was to move away from their own galaxy. But yeah, it took about 8 or so generations that had passed within, since they didn't really have cryostasis down or drift engines.
A lot of kids.
So yeah, a lot of people died, but a lot of people lived.
A lot of inbreeding.
And they, unfortunately. But they'd eventually made it to the Andromeda
galaxy. By that time, everybody's related.
Exactly. But that all included humans, elves, tieflings, dwarves. All of the Terran races existed on there.
Okay.
And then they finally made their way to Andromeda, where they landed on the planet called Pecatum Absender 99.
Oh dear God.
PA 99.
There you go.
There you go.
You just use the abbreviation.
Pa
99. That is their main station of where the Hellion Imperium resides. And there are a bunch of enforcers and others that also reside there as well. They're the main law and order abiding nation of the entire galaxy. They seek to not exactly subjugate, but bring law and order to a realm of chaos.
Dun dun.
Within the galaxy itself.
What kind of planet is PA-99?
Think of Coruscant from Star Wars.
Okay.
It is a industrial planet. It used to be a planet full of life and full of organic material, but over the years they have overcome the entire planet with industry and metalwork and refinery and but Genova Gwentari?
Yes.
Or Gino. Hot, sweating, in pain, smelling of dirt, blood, and booze.
Standard.
This wasn't the first time you found yourself face down in the dust and concrete.
Nope.
You're a tiefling, a devil spawn, an infernal degenerate. Having been born within the Hellion Imperium, you were tolerated for a time. Your family was degraded and debased. Life was hard, but at least you would always know what is expected of you. Being born into the Imperium as a tiefling left you with few purposes in life, but at least you were still given options, yet none of them fit to your liking. As soon as you were old enough, you made it your life's goal to get out of the reach of the Imperium, and eventually you did. It took a lot of time, credits, and hard work to leave from the Imperium and its controlled space, but eventually you made your way to a planet called Selenium 7. It's a harsh planet, with its surface made of rocky deserts, fissures that release noxious gases, and fungal life that infect the deceased and control its motor functions to spread further. But it wasn't all bad. You found yourself in the city of Vermeer. It's Vermeer. It is an underground city protected by the elements and from the harsh surface above. You had acquired a small townhouse that you lived in and worked as a mercenary for the local law enforcement. The police were numerous, but they left you the jobs that they didn't want law enforcement involved with. It was alright work, but each day you felt more drained than the next. And people did not exactly look at you as a symbol of peace. The prejudice still came with you from the Imperium. People looked down upon you as foul and unwanted, and you would get kicked out of most establishments because of this. This drove you to drinking and living away from your townhouse as people began to trail you back home and beat you as soon as you would leave. Life became a living hell once again. You were not at all a disadvantage, however. You still had your wits and abilities from the time you were born. You could control the essences of magic and technology around you. But you also knew the risks of using your abilities. The Imperium would eventually find you again if you were to reveal your true powers. So you decided to craft a device to hide your true self. This device altered your image to look passable as a standard human. You of course had to change how you lived and hid your name, and thus people no longer saw you as a devil. People actually treated you as one of their own to an extent. And eventually, you found love. Her name was Naomi. Naomi. She was a Lashunta, and more beautiful than you could have imagined. You both began to date after a few months of seeing each other. She had a taste for music, and from what she told you, she worked as a steward under a local icon. She had shown you some of the music, but it wasn't really your cup of tea. You both never really talked about work, but that didn't really bother the two of you. She helped you quit your drinking problem, and eventually you moved in with her. Although there was an underlying sense of immense guilt upon your consciousness. Every time you saw her, you were not yourself. You had to come clean soon, or the fear of her leaving due to your lie was more than enough motivation to tell the truth, although you were still scared of her hating you. The month was Calistril, or February. The month where love would thrive on the 14th day. That was the day of which you would tell her. You made her apartment a most romantic setting. Roses, which were quite hard to obtain on a desert planet, laid fresh on the floor leading to the bedroom, a candlelit dinner made fresh by your hand, and music that she had enjoyed would play in the background. Also, her favorite bottle of liquor would also be set on the table. Everything was set. She'd be home soon, too. But the hours went by, and she would have been home before dark, but she never arrived. You knew work would send her away every so often, and sometimes for a couple of weeks during the system-wide blood moons that occurred within the galaxy. But she would tell you about it beforehand, and you hadn't heard anything from her. You called and called, but no answer. You began to panic. What if something had happened to her? You find yourself standing in the dining room, starting to shake and sweat. You take the bottle of her favorite liquor, there's a brandy on the table, and head outside her apartment. You uncork the bottle as you leave and begin to drink. You try to think about places she could have gone, and where she would have gone, and where you could possibly look to find her. So what would you like to do?
Where were the places that she normally resided?
The places that she normally resided, there's a couple restaurants, there's a couple bars that she would go to, there's her place of work that she would also be at from time to time.
So let's start with the bar, knowing it's probably after work hours.
Okay. Why don't you make me either a perception or survival check?
It doesn't matter. Either one.
9.
Say perception.
Perception. You take some time. You take about 45 minutes in going around to some of the local bars nearby. You head inside each one and you ask around to see where Naomi might have gone. But when you go in there, it's pretty late at night. No one really seems to know who you're really talking about. But eventually you make your way down towards one of the far-off streets on in the downtown area of Vermeer. You get to a place called the Flux. It's a concert hall, and it's a bar mixed into one. But from what you can tell from the distance that you are, you don't think you'll be able to get inside, as there is a stream of blue and red lights flashing in the distance, as well as yellow tape around the outside of the front doors of the building.
Am I still in good standing with the local law enforcement?
As far as you know, yeah.
I wander up to the blue lights and see if I can find anybody I recognize.
Okay. Make another perception
On
check.
duty. God damn it. 7.
7.
Even worse.
The law enforcement here you're not really familiar with. You are more kind of like the day crew kind of people. These are like the night crew. So you don't really recognize anyone in particular, but I mean they don't really
I'm
pay you much
assuming I
money.
have my badge on me, in my pocket.
No, you wouldn't, because you took it off when you were getting ready for dinner.
Mhm.
You kind of put your stuff away, and you weren't thinking straight. You just grabbed the bottle of brandy and went outside.
I still have the bottle in my hand, I'm assuming.
You still have the bottle in your hand. So as far as you know, you might look like a drunk.
Yeah. So I'm gonna, thinking about that, I'm going to look at the bottle and set it down before I walk up to the
Okay.
cops.
Already.
I don't want to do that.
Hey, you guys.
Hey. I'm assuming how much have I drank so far?
About half the bottle.
Do I need to make a Constitution check?
Yeah, make a fortitude save.
Because I haven't been drinking in a while.
Yeah, been off it for a little bit.
Is it like a 4?
These are really not doing it for me right
What
now.
was it?
It's a natural 1.
Oh, okay.
Police just beat the shit out of you.
Right. Constitution, you said save or just Constitution?
Fortitude save.
Fortitude save. Fortitude. For 3.
For a 3 with a nat 1.
Yeah. Ouch.
You go to set down the
Right.
bottle, and you
Stumble.
you stumble onto the ground, and the bottle shatters across the ground.
Shit.
And you try and pick yourself back up, but you're pretty stumbly. One of the local law enforcement looks towards back your way and starts making his way up to you.
I brace myself on the nearest lamp pole.
Okay, you brace yourself up against it
Well,
and try and
Yeah, well, I don't grab it like I'm
But
like a
you
tree,
like-
but I try to hold
hold
myself
yourself
to it.
up, trying not to retch before.
Having a rough time, my friend.
The guy comes up to you. Shouldn't be around here.
What's going on?
It's been an accident, and we're trying to keep people away from the area, and from the looks of it, you shouldn't be here.
Okay. Have you? I'm looking for my girlfriend. Have you seen her?
I have no idea who your girlfriend is, so no.
I'm looking for Naomi. I give last name. I don't know the last name. If there's a last name.
The last name is Eidolon. E-I-D-O-L-O-N.
E-I-D.
O-L-O-N. Eidolon. Eidolon, you say?
Yes.
That's your girlfriend.
Yes.
Come with me.
Okay. I follow.
You follow. Stay behind the yellow.
Of course.
Do you recognize any of these men?
I look
There's 3 bodies on the ground.
through blurred eyes.
Through blurred eyes. Make a perception check.
Okay.
Oh,
All right.
that was a 4
All
at
right.
first.
Is it with disadvantage?
What's the total?
Do I do disadvantage or no?
Mhm.
Okay. You said perception.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was.
So perception is a 16.
16? Okay.
Finally.
I can see.
Kinda. -5, 11.
Oh, damn it.
There it is.
Still.
It's pretty. It's alright.
It's still above average, which is good.
From the looks of it, they just look like average dudes. Some of them are a bit stockier. One is dressed in like a whitish button-up shirt with like his sleeves rolled up, and like a towel on one of his sides. He looked like he could have been like the bartender in the establishment, but his white is now turned to like a soiled red. And the other two guys just look like standard like dudes in like jackets.
Okay.
You don't recognize them in particular, but one of them does have a tattoo on the side.
Just gonna say, so I'd like to take a second, wipe my face, try to sober myself up a little bit, and look for identifying marks such as the tattoo.
Okay. Make another perception check. Since investigation is just bundled into perception.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. It rolled around the fucking deal.
I think you need better dice.
These are the ones you bought, by the way.
I know. This is the ones that I bought specifically for
during-
Gino,
During what?
and that
Wasn't it Jesse's
irritates me.
bachelor party?
Yes, which was I should have known had some bad juju for it anyway. That was a 2 plus 2, so 4. So I don't see anything besides the fucking tattoo.
Yeah.
You don't even see the tattoo anymore.
And then, yeah, you
You
don't
see the
anything.
one tattoo, it's kind of bundled up against his arm.
Okay.
So you only get to see about half of it from where you are, but it's red in the center that comes down to a point, and then around it has like what looks to be like barbed green plants.
Any what? Okay, let me sidebar here just for a second. What? Am I just a beat cop? Am I in a specific department?
You're not in a specific department with the law. You just work with them. You're like a hired kind of like private investigator
Okay.
almost.
All right. So
But you're not like at the top of the standings.
right, but I kind of work with all of them, so I have probably seen some gang tattoos or whatnot, or any of the
Yeah.
markings that they have
Make
discovered.
make an intelligence check.
It's just me tonight. It's me tonight.
the booze.
Not,
I don't
it's
know what
the
to do.
booze.
Do you want
It's
to roll my dice?
no, I don't want to.
I
I don't
don't
want to
wanna
give you. I don't want to give you the Wheaton curse right now. So
You can add +5 to that since you've been kind of working around. Like,
on top of this, or just
on top of the dice roll.
but not on top of my intelligence.
Yeah, you can.
Okay, so you said just an intellect, or you said history?
Dave
Intelligence.
just feels
Intelligence. Okay, so
Well, he's got some dealings with
yeah,
the
so I've
cops
got
and stuff.
so it's right. It's 8
Mhm.
plus 5,
+5.
so 13.
13. Okay. It jogs your memory a little bit. And it's not like a specific gang that you've seen around here. There have been like upbringings of either like resistances against the Imperium that have kind of come around this area, but there's also been kind of talks around the police force of maybe like cultists that have been in the area too. One in particular that kind of sticks out with this possible marking.
Because I only see half of it.
You
of
only
course.
see half of it, but it could be the Cult of Life.
How ironic.
Okay. I don't. I'm off duty. I've already drank too much. I don't recognize any of them. I mean, obviously that one could be the bartender, and I've never been to Lux.
Flux, but
Flux, sorry. I thought Lux, my bad.
He's really drunk. Cut off.
I've never been to Flux. That's why I got the L. But that I do recognize the marking, I think, on the side of his arm. That's the only thing I got. But I'm sure you've already figured that part out.
yeah, some of us have been kind of looking into it, but from what we know, your girlfriend, Naomi Eidolon, she did come in here a few hours ago. She was with somebody else. There was a couple of other bystanders nearby that kind of saw what was happening, but we wanted to just make sure. You said you were an off-duty?
Yeah.
Do you happen to have any sort of...
I don't. I left it back at the apartment.
Okay. Well, I can't let you come into the scene
Yeah.
without any sort of
Identification,
formal
of course.
identification, so...
Yeah, I know. Sorry. I'm sorry.
That's alright. Kind of like... And I wipes away the breath, but...
Yeah. Okay.
If you'd like, you can talk around outside of the crime scene, of course, but there have been other bystanders. Guy over here by the name of Jack, seen a little bit since he was inside the bar. You're welcome to talk to him.
Okay. Alright. Have you asked, have you seen where she went? Is she at least okay? Did she leave?
From what we can tell, we haven't heard or seen from her. There is a little bit of blood trail that kind of goes off, and he kind of points down the sidewalk.
Yeah.
But eventually it fades and disappears.
Okay.
We guess that she went that way, but we don't really have an idea. We're checking the hotels and stuff nearby to see if she's gone to any of those.
Okay. Thank you,
Officer David.
Gino.
Nice to meet you.
I'll look around, see what information I can find. I'll keep you guys included.
Alright. You trying to be safe out there?
I'll try. I move along.
Okay.
I try to find Jack.
Jack.
He said.
It's another human. All three of the dudes in the crime scene were human.
Yeah. Okay. You said it was the Cult of Life.
Possibly the Cult of Life.
I go and I look for the description that he gave me of Jack.
Okay. He's not too far away. He is nearby. He seemed to have gotten injured within the fight too, so he's next to an ambulance with like a jacket over top of him.
I did grab my jacket on my way out, along with the bottle.
Mm-hmm.
I typically keep my notepad in there, so I grab out my pen and notepad and walk over to Jack.
Alrighty. He looks to be younger, maybe about his 18, 19 age. He himself is human as well. But he's just kind of sitting down. It's a little chilly out, it's not too bad. But there's still light around since you guys are underground. There's artificial lights, but it's dimmer now that it's kind of like into a night setting.
Okay. I walk over. How, at this point, kind of a sobering experience, how sober am I?
You're trying to shake it off as best as you can. Things are still a little fuzzy. You kind of fumble with your pencil a little bit because your fingertips are numb.
Yeah.
But
it's cold.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's like 50 degrees. But
oh, but okay.
Yeah.
The booze.
The booze.
Fingertips are numb. Okay. Yeah. So I walk over, trying not to stumble, and I walk up to Jack. Jack, do you?
Yeah, that's me.
Do you have any? I'm assuming you've already told the cops everything you know. You said you told them you saw Naomi walking in with a guy or walking out with a guy.
I don't know if it was Naomi or somebody else. They were La Santa, and two of them came into the bar. I was kind of drinking with some of my buddies, and they were there for a couple of hours while we were out dancing on the floor. And then everything happened so fast. Like,
can you break down what happened?
For what I can remember, there were gunshots that went off. I don't know if they had attacked first or somebody in the bar pulled out a gun. I'm not sure, but eventually there were multiple gunshots, like, in the whole building itself. There was, like, I don't know, maybe like 8 to 10 shots that went off, and everybody kind of just ran out the building, and we all got kind of scared, and one of the shots hit my leg, and I tried to get away from it as quick as I possibly could, and the police came not too long after that, but when I came back here, there was 3 bodies on the ground.
The someone that came in with her was he human? Was he Lasanta as well?
From what I saw, it was a Lasanta as well, and I think she was female.
Both of them were female?
Yeah.
Both Lasanta, both female.
Mm.
Okay. Anything else that seemed out of the ordinary that you think of?
I mean, from what I could remember, like, there were several, like, I mean, everybody was kind of looking towards their direction, because, like, you know, they're kind of big around here, but, or at least she is. So, I mean, there were several people looking at him across to the bar.
Naomi is big around here, or the other one was?
Well, I think both.
Okay.
I think, I don't know if you've heard, but I think she's in a band, and I think she's pretty big. I think.
Yeah.
I haven't heard any music, but I hear people talking about it.
Okay. When you left, or when they left, did you by chance see them leave?
No, I
So
hid myself
you were
around.
in pain. And,
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. If you can, I pull out. I'm assuming I'm hoping that I reach into my pocket. I'm hoping I have a business card. And I present. If you find anything, please don't hesitate.
Yeah. Oh, one more thing. The guys, I think I kind of recognize them too. At least one of them, anyways. But I think they're from a house that's kind of big around here too. In Selenium. I think they're from House Demetrian, but I'm not sure.
Okay. Do I know? Does House Demetrian work with or have ever seen together with the Cult of Life?
Make a history check.
Fuck you stupid dice. History. There is no history, so I will do intelligence.
Yeah.
9.
9.
Plus whatever you're willing to give.
You wouldn't know specifically if they're in correlation with a cult.
Okay.
What you know, being what you are, you know that House Demetrian is a generally powerful tiefling house within the Hellion Imperium. But these guys were human, so you're not really sure what correlation there is to that, but...
do I know, does not House Demetrian, does the Cult of Life, are they primarily human?
From what you've gathered within the law enforcement, or within the police department, the Cult of Life, from what springs they've had come up, you know primarily they're tiefling, but I mean there's a lot of mixed races that have also been included too, so being human or any other humanoid type race, you're not sure if they've also kind of gone into the cult itself. You're not sure, you know, if there's a leader or how charismatic that leader is to bring more members.
Okay.
You're not sure.
I kind of... Okay, Jack, let me... Keep me in mind. If anything comes back to you, please don't hesitate to call. Let me know.
Sure.
Even just message me. You don't even have to call. Just let me know what happens.
Yeah, okay, I can do that. I mean, I'm gonna let the police first know, but...
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mhm.
And I move on.
Okay.
And I go and I walk around, and the blood trail, I'm assuming, is taped off.
It's taped off, and there's numbers next to each blood spot.
And I kind of follow where it goes.
Okay. It goes for about 120 feet down the sidewalk, before it It slightly starts to turn to the right towards like one of the nearby alleys, but it's hard to tell.
The device that I made, does it just dampen my abilities, or does it erase it, or can I still use it and it's just hard to track?
The device you made, you can use it.
Or is it more of a, yeah, this is, anybody that asks how I did that, this is how I did it.
Explain that again. Hold on.
So basically, using it as a deterrent. If anybody asks you if I do something that seems off, like, how'd you do that? It's like this.
It's not
Show
really
them the device.
The device isn't really a deterrent.
Okay.
What the device does is it changes like your physical form to look like someone else.
Okay. Okay, so it's a disguised self.
It's a disguised self, basically.
Okay. So it doesn't really affect my powers per se.
At this moment, no, it does
Okay.
not affect your powers.
Okay. So, but I just need to make sure I don't use them very often, if at all.
Yes.
Okay. So I will.
There's a specific order that you do not want coming after you,
Yes. Yeah.
and you would know this order too, if you want to know it.
Her. Me. Oh. I would
You.
know this order.
It is the Order of the Pyre. They are mage hunters, inquisitors.
P-I-E-R. That's
P-Y-R-E.
P-Y-R-E.
Honey, it's not even peer.
Pear.
Higher. Yeah. It's not
Yeah.
peer.
P-I-R-E is peer.
No, it's not.
P-E-I-R?
P-I-E-R. Pierre.
P-I-E-R.
What did I say? Oh, P-I-R.
P-I-R-E.
Sorry. Yep. Okay.
But yeah, it's the Order of the Pyre. They're mage hunters, mage
I
slayers.
swear to God, P-I-R-E is a word. I think.
They,
Anyway.
Yeah, they hunt down anything with a magic essence,
Yeah.
basically. Often.
And off them.
Yeah.
Magic hunters.
What you've heard. Is they,
Okay.
No one really kind of gets away from them.
So. Remind me, what is the. Where are the feats?
260-ish?
Iron Will.
Iron Will, I believe, gives you a
Plus
+2
2
bonus
to-
to Wisdom saves.
Will saves.
Will
That's
saves.
why the modifier. Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yep.
Um.
Versus like magic stuff.
Yeah.
Your mind is a steel trap.
Yep. Okay, so I follow the trail.
Okay.
And I'd like to see if I could find any. I guess where it would lead.
Okay. Make a perception check.
15.
15? Okay. You begin your search again for Naomi down this alleyway. And you kind of poke around for a little while. It's not like a super long alleyway, but it's maybe like a 2-block long alley between several buildings.
Yeah.
There are people around in the area that are just kind of walking around. But something does feel a little off in this area, and you kind of get like a chill up your spine as you feel like people are like kind of looking towards you.
I would like to just kind of out of the corner of my eyes do a quick sweep of anybody looking or.
Okay. Just kind of like looking around quickly. You notice there's a few people kind of loading some sort of like a gravity vehicle that kind of looks like a U-Haul. They're loading it with boxes, but they're kind of both looking at you as they put stuff into the truck. And then there's some homeless-looking people that are also kind of looking up at you and kind of watching you as you go through the.
So I keep walking. I don't stop.
Okay.
And as I'm walking, as I'm looking, I will like look, but also like to pay attention to see if anybody follows.
Okay. Alrighty. And we're back. So you said you were walking down the hall. You were doing what? Sorry.
So I am continuing to walk and seeing if anybody follows me, as I'm also trying to look at the same time, like look for clues.
Gotcha. Okay. You don't notice like anybody like walking after you specifically.
Okay.
But you don't really like, see any sort of clues down here. Like where the blood trail kind of ended. That was kind of like where it stopped. But there are some nearby hotels around in this area. You know for work, like she used to stay in them. At least a couple anyways. So you keep heading down the alleyway. And you reach about 40-50 feet from the end of the alleyway before, like where there's oncoming traffic and pedestrians walking down.
Mm-hmm.
You get to there, and there are two people that kind of walk around the corner from like two side doors on each side. They kind of walk towards you. One of them acknowledges you. Looking a little lost there, don't you?
No, not lost. Just keeping on my way.
Keeping on your way. From what I heard, looking for your girlfriend. Is that right?
I was. You by chance know where she's at?
Not that I know of.
Then we have nothing to speak about.
Sure don't. But we'd like to speak to you anyways. For a little chat. And you notice a couple more kind of come up from behind you as well.
About what?
Nothing in particular, but it seems like you're sticking your nose in where you shouldn't. See this eidolon of yours? Something special that, you know, both you and I share. Or would like to anyways.
No, yeah? What might that be?
He kind of whistles to one of his other peeps that are coming from behind you.
Uh-huh.
And you hear like a sing of like metal as you hear hurried footsteps start coming to you.
I'm assuming this is not going to end well for me. So I'm going... How close are they?
The ones behind you were about 20 feet away, and the ones in front of you were about 30.
Is there any... How narrow are these places? Is this place?
It's about a 15-foot wide
Is there anything above me?
sky. Well,
It's like...
ceiling.
Okay, so it's a...
You're underground. Yeah.
I'm underground.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's no up.
Well, there is an up, but
there's a ceiling.
There's a ceiling.
There's no
There's
up
a stop.
past. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, there's a stop. How high up?
oh, over 20 stories tall.
All right.
Pretty high up.
Ooh, Jesus. That's a big underground.
Yeah.
Is there any like balconies or anything on the way up?
There was one that you passed. That was about like a 15-foot overhang, or not a 15. Like it was 15 foot long, and then like about a 5-7 foot overhang.
Okay, it's past behind me.
Yeah, it's behind you.
Is there anything like more towards the guys in front?
More towards the guys in front, there looks to be like two smaller. They're not really balconies, but they look more like fire escapes.
How high up?
About 20 feet high.
Does there look? Is it brick or is it smooth stone?
It is like almost a rusted steel.
Anything jutting out?
There's like some
flat, smooth, like.
It's not flat smooth. There's like air conditioning units and like stuff that are
Okay.
kind of
I would like
around.
to, hearing the shing, bad news. Instinct would like to start trying to jump up.
Okay.
Up, trying to get to that ledge in front of me. Obviously, kind of.
Make an acrobatics check.
Come on, don't fuck me. Okay, it's not bad, but it's not great. Acrobatics. 3 plus 12, so 15.
Okay. 15. That's pretty good.
It's not bad, but it's not great. Could be better.
So, hearing the shing behind you, you start trying to pounce your way up to one of the
Mhm.
fire escapes. I'll have you roll initiative real quick.
15. What do I have on me? Do I have? I obviously probably don't have my hunting rifle.
No, you have your pistol.
Do I
and
do
the
have
knife
my
on
sidearm?
you.
Okay. Do I, in that split second, do I recognize any of them, and do I recognize any symbols, tattoos,
Make a
identifying
perception
marks?
check.
18.
18.
Yep.
The two that were behind you are kind of like in orange working jackets.
Yeah.
You can't really tell any like symbols or anything
Right.
on them.
That was probably too far, convoluted to see anything but the two in front.
There are the two guys in front of you. The one that was talking to you has his hood pulled over, so you can't quite make out what he looks like. But the one on the left does have like a mark kind of like underneath of his neck that has what looks to be like a blood drop, a red blood drop with a kind of like a rosary.
Does it look like?
Around. Kind of like if you were to look at half of it, it looks like what the bartender kind of guy looks like.
So it looks like the Cult of Life, possibly.
Possibly. You said 15 for your
Mm-hmm. Initiative, yeah.
15 initiative. Okay. So you are up first, and you started bounding your way up towards those balconies, which were 20 feet high, about 30 feet away from you, so about 50 or so feet.
Okay.
You use your movement and the acrobatics that you got to get about 15 feet high, and you're sitting on top of one of the AC units that it's
Jutted
bigger,
out.
that's jutted out.
Right.
So you're about 15 feet above them.
Okay. That is my movement, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just one movement in action for this.
It's so for your actions in combat, you have your movement, you have a swift action, you have a standard action, and a full action, or a full action, I should say.
Okay.
A full action uses your entire turn, so your movement, your swift action, your...
Oh, so I can't. It's basically if I don't move, I can use a full action to do something big, or I can do the movement and a quick action and a
standard action.
Standard action. Okay. Standard action. I'm assuming. A quick action would be to pull.
A swift action is to like change grips or to like drop prone. A movement action is to pull out a weapon, actually, in Starfinder. So a movement action acts as your bonus action, pretty much.
Okay. And I've already used my movement?
You use your movement.
So I can't pull anything.
You wouldn't have really been able to hop up this with the gun in your hand
right.
So no, you don't have that out
okay.
right now.
So I guess can I just take another look at them? Maybe the guy's behind me at this point?
Yeah, you can
use my action to like maybe perceive a little bit more about them.
Yeah. 16. You look at the guys behind you. One of them does have what appears to be a knife out. He's currently like flipping it around to like maybe try and throw it at you.
Okay.
The other one has pulled out a small like analog pistol.
Okay.
And the two down in front of you, they look kind of staunchier, a bit more armored. They have what looks to be like not exactly high grade, but they have like energy type weapons.
Okay. Sorry. Order of hire. Do they just, it's by things that people have seen that they locate you, or is it if I do anything they can sense the magic?
They can't sense the magic. It's by word of mouth, basically.
Okay. So if there's no I can get away with it if there's no
witnesses.
Observers.
Yeah,
there's no witnesses.
Yeah.
Okay. But there's several witnesses way the fuck back there,
and there's
and the four that's interacting with me, and probably people above.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's out. Okay, that's my turn. I can't do anything at this moment.
That ends your turn.
Other than, I guess I can't really dodge because I already used that to perceive. So
says you can use other actions as to like ready an action. So I'll say you can try and like dodge.
okay,
like-
yeah, I'll like just kind of
like-
put up a defense to where I can't against the blade that's possibly going
you
to be thrown at
you
me.
can try and like push yourself against the wall to like
Yeah.
try and get
Harder.
a harder angle from like,
Yep,
the
yep,
AC units.
yep.
Yeah. Okay. So it is the guy in orange with his knife. He's going to make an attack roll against you. Let me pull that up here.
And that's going to be kinetic.
That'll be kinetic, yeah. So that'll be versus your KAC.
Yeah.
So he'll make one attack against you with his knife. And I don't know if you want to come look at this, but it's not 20.
Ah, son of a bitch.
You've been
Fucking
rolling
Wheaton
like
curse.
twos, and he gets that money.
I got it. I have the Wheaton curse.
Oh my god.
Help.
So he's throwing his knife, so D4. Okay, so that is 3 times 2, so 6, 7 points of piercing damage to you. Ow! That's a crit.
Yeah. No, that's all my stamina points.
But that ends his turn, as he's going to try and move towards where some of these units are and try and climb up himself.
Uh-huh.
But he only gets to like the base of it.
Right.
And then next guy, the other person in orange, he's going to try and take a shot at you.
Okay.
His like, revolver
Mm-hmm.
is a 14
That does not hit.
plus 3, 17.
That does hit.
Or sorry, you're actually a little bit covered. So yeah, 14.
That does not hit.
So he misses as the bullet just off the side of the railing.
Okay. I'm assuming I now have a knife stabbing in me.
You have a knife in you, yeah.
Yes. Okay.
So you can pull that out.
Yeah,
if you want.
I'd like to pull that out and keep that.
Okay.
I'll do that obviously on my turn rather
Okay.
than.
Alright, so
Ow.
the one that was talking to you pulls out his laser pistol.
Okay.
Goes to take
Do
shot.
I regain stamina points?
Yes, you can.
But hit points I don't, unless I specifically heal myself.
Specifically, yeah. So the way healing works in Starfinder is really shitty,
Okay.
but I'm gonna go with it because it's fun.
I hate it. I hate it already. I hate this is
Stamina points you can gain back after 10 minutes, and you spend a resolve point,
okay.
and you gain all of your stamina points back.
How many resolve points do I have?
You have a number equal to your main ability modifier. So whatever,
Which I'm assuming is wisdom
whatever
or
your
intelligence.
spell casting you use, I would assume. Is, what
I think it's intelligence.
is your intelligence your highest?
Yeah.
Okay, so that would be your main. So it'd be +4 plus I think minimum 1.
So 5.
I think so.
5
It's
resolve
5.
points?
Yeah, 1 plus your main spellcasting
Okay.
modifier. Yeah. So you can spend 1 resolve point and heal all of your stamina points if you take a 10-minute short rest.
And then my hit points, I have to.
Your hit points, they do recover naturally, but for every 8 hours you spend resting, so a long rest, you get 1 point back.
Oh dear God. I can speed that up with
You can speed that up by
kits and
kits,
potions and shit
potions.
like that.
and resting in an actual bed. If you rest in an actual bed, you get to heal
2.
2 points. Exactly.
That's what I was just. You get 2.
If you spend 24 hours resting in a bed, you get 2 points for every 8 hours. Yeah.
So for a total of 6
Yeah.
and 24.
Yeah, so healing is
Really shitty.
really shitty, so
Yeah.
don't get hurt.
Yeah, that immediately takes 7 damage. Luckily, that was in my only in my fucking stamina so far. But that was all of my stamina.
I believe it's hit points naturally, yes. So you get 1 HP per character level for every 8 hours. Any significant interruption prevents you from healing. If you do complete bed rest for 24 hours, you recover 2 per character level. So yeah, don't get hit.
What I was trying to avoid.
But yeah, you get all your resolve
Can't believe he
points and
critted
stuff,
on
but-
stabbing me. It's so
I know.
stupid.
First roll he critted.
fucking stupid. All right.
But this guy he shot with his laser pistol for a total of... He missed! 10 to hit you.
That's a fail.
Okay. And this is versus your EAC. But he has 2 attacks, so he's going to try and attack you again.
Yeah.
With a 19 to hit. With his laser pistol versus your EAC.
The 19 to hit
19 to hit.
versus my EAC. Oh yeah, that
EAC.
hits. Yeah, that hits. Ouch.
So that is 5 points of fire damage.
Oh.
But that ends his turn as he like points to his other 2 and like yells to try and like get after him, like get up. But the other
Where the
one,
fuck are the cops? Like, this is literally happening down the alley. That's just right there.
it was like 200 feet away.
Still, you can hear a gunshot.
They can, but they're not that fast.
Well, that's fair. You should just like show up like that.
Immediately
What the hell?
appear out of nowhere. But that ends his turn. The second guy, that is a 20 to hit versus your EAC.
Oh my god, that hits.
Because you roll a 16 plus 4.
I'm not gonna live through this.
But he only deals 3 points
Okay.
of fire damage
All right.
for his first attack.
Okay.
Second attack,
No,
that is a 12 to hit.
that does not hit. Thank
Okay, so
fucking lord.
He misses his second attack.
Okay.
So as you're trying to climb up these air conditioning units,
Yeah.
you're thrown with a knife and shot a couple
Yep.
times by laser pistols as
Yep.
they just embed and burn into you. You try and shake it off as best you can, but it is your turn.
Okay. I would like to go as far as I can away from them. I need to get out of their fucking sight and range.
Okay.
Yep. 'Cause I literally have 1 hit point left.
Make an acrobatics check. Is it a 1?
That's a 2.
Oh, well, it's not a 1.
No, but it's acrobatics is 3, so it's
3?
5.
5? Okay. You're pretty shaken from everything that's
Yeah,
happening right now. You've shaken off your
I do grab that knife
sobriety.
out of my side.
You grab the knife out and you try and hop as best as you can to get up. From where you're at, it's not too hard to get to the escape ladder,
Mhm.
so you manage to get there, but your sight's kind of spinning at this moment.
Yeah.
So you make it there, and that uses maybe half your movement.
Half my movement.
Yeah.
I would like to climb as much as I can,
Okay.
as fast as I can.
You
I know I'm shaking, but this is flight or flight. This
you,
is like
you climb up
flight
as best
mode.
you can. You get 15 feet higher, so now you're about 45 feet off the ground up
and
on a ladder.
I would like to.
The building you're on is about 6 stories high.
And it's how high to the balcony?
To the
Which
down.
mine cut in
You're
window something.
You're on the escape ladder, which was kind of the balcony that kind of went around the building,
Uh-huh.
and then there's a window right there, and then a ladder. That
Is
goes
there a
up.
window right next to me?
Yeah.
Can I climb in it?
You can try. You can try.
I would like to try and climb in it.
Make an athletics check.
Don't fuck me. Oh, it's a natural 20.
Okay.
Uh.
You,
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
I thought it was like a 4.
you grab.
You said acrobatics or athletics?
athletics.
Okay, it's for a 22, but
You grab the window and you just throw it up as hard as you can, and you break the lock on the inside. And you throw it up, and there are curtains, but you can get inside.
I crawl inside. I
You-
kind of like
you crawl inside,
I freaking like shut the freaking window,
and you shut it, and
close the
there's
curtains.
no latch, but you close
Yeah.
the curtains. And you're standing inside kind of a darkened room. It doesn't look to be like anybody's home at the moment.
Good. I need to get through the door, or I look for anything to like stop or put against my side. The cloth.
Yeah.
Is it on my leg?
The knife wound?
Yeah.
The knife wound would, it'd be on your leg.
Okay. So I'd like to wrap my leg.
Wrap your leg. You find like a blanket on one of the nearby couches and
Something
Rip
thin,
it off
rip it
and
apart, and
throw it on your
Yeah.
leg.
really quick as best I can.
And you have 2 searing burn marks on the side of you as well, but
Those
you
are
kind of
those are cauterized.
Yeah.
I don't need to worry about those right now. I should have bought fucking potions or something. Guess I wouldn't have brought them. Okay, so I'm in a room.
You're in a
How
room.
many doors?
From where you are standing, there are 4 doors.
Okay.
You're kind of like in the living space right now.
Okay. Does it look like one that would particularly be the entrance to the building or to their apartment?
To like the hallway of the apartment?
Yeah.
Yeah. The one door to your left, it just is like it's a smaller door that just goes to the kitchen where there's just like a bar.
Okay.
You can see into the kitchen and there's just a door there. The other 2 doors look to be like a bathroom and bedroom.
Oh, I don't know if I have enough time for this. Quick glance. Do I see any alcohol at the bar?
Yeah.
Is there anything like a candle that's lit or
It's dark in here.
Okay, it's dark. Can I see any lighting devices?
Make a perception check.
Say 8.
8. You hobble your way over to the kitchen. You grab the bottle of vodka that's just sitting on the counter. There's only like about that much in the bottle.
Okay.
You kind of rummage through the drawers to try and see if there's anything to like light up. And you open one of the drawers and there's like a small handheld like flashlight that you click on and off.
I would like to. Improvise. I go and throw it at the. I try and throw the alcohol at the. Well, I guess if I have time. I'll just go and bash the alcohol against the window seal, and then break the light and like turn it on and try to like light with an arc.
Try and light the alcohol.
Yeah.
Okay.
So really like 1 in a million chance, and then fucking
make a survival check.
13.
13. You break the bottle and kind of drizzle it where you need it to be against the windowsill. You pull out the battery and you kind of use it along with some like steel wool.
Yeah, anything that I found.
And you like try and like get a spark, like your best to light it, and you start to get a little bit of flame. That's like a light blue flame, kind of like from hand sanitizer, but it just kind of flickers in and out. It doesn't seem to be like it's a high-proof alcohol, so it might be lit for a little bit. You can throw the drapes.
Yeah, just try and bring the drapes close to it.
Sure, you put the drapes close to it, and it does catch on fire.
I like kind of slide them shut to where it's in front of the window, and then I try and get out of that room.
Okay, you bolt out towards the front door, and it is locked with a couple locks from the inside.
I unlock it. I look through the people.
You look through the people. There doesn't seem to be like
I
anybody
go.
in the hallway, but you unlock the few locks that are on it and run out into the hallway.
Yep.
Okay. You head down the hallway. Are you taking like stairs or an elevator?
Stairs elevator would probably be safer, so I take the elevator.
Okay. You click the button. You kind of wait a little bit as it kind of comes.
Do I hear like the window at all?
You hear like a crack in the window from outside. Either from the flames or from someone like hitting against it, you're not sure.
If I hear it break, I'm just gonna run to the stairs.
Okay. You do start hearing sirens though.
Okay.
As they start coming near the building. But you don't hear like anyone like break through it as of yet, as the doors open.
Okay.
You run inside and like close it. You get to the main lobby. You start kind of walking out nonchalantly. He's trying to.
I look for the nearest cop.
Okay. You kind of hobble your way out, and make a perception check.
17.
17. Talking to one of the receptionists, you do see like a hooded kind of figure, like talking to one of the receptionists, but you don't see any cops like in here. You kind of try and like hide as best as you can.
I get away from that.
Make a stealth check.
20. Dirty 20.
They don't seem to notice you as you're conversing with the receptionist. But you get out the front doors, and try and look around to the nearest police officer around here. There doesn't seem to be anyone on this street, as they were kind of like behind you and like away.
Okay.
But you do hear them starting to come around the side.
Okay. I go towards the sirens.
Okay. You head towards the sirens, and you try and hobble your way over to the side. You do see cops starting to turn around the corner, but you do hear like a gunshot off in the distance as you feel like a piercing behind you. As you collapse onto the ground, as you can see the police just coming around the corner. You then, a few moments later, you feel yourself being dragged and then thrown onto the ground. You try your best to try and keep consciousness, but right now you're feeling hot, sweating, you're in pain. You smell of dirt, blood, and booze still. But right now, you still know Naomi is missing, and you're pissed. You close your eyes, and you call out to Naomi as your vision starts to fade. But everything around you seems to slow, and rain begins to fall around you. Which is weird. You're underground, why would there be wet rain? But the air becomes dark, you get off the ground, now dripping with blood, and a voice speaks out to you. You recognize it as Naomi. She lifts herself off a nearby wall and walks, arms open into the rain, letting it pour down on her. You know, I remember the first time I met you. Feels a bit similar, don't you think? We don't get much rain on Selenium, and what we do get is acidic to the touch. But we do where I'm from. It's a place that I would like to go back someday, and maybe show you as well. But, listen, I know you've had it rough your whole life, and I wanted to make a difference, but right now you've got a choice. You can let people push you over, for however you've got left to live, or you can stick it to them. And she skips up to you with her hands behind her back. Either choice you choose, just know I'll be next to you along the way, and if you need me, just call out. And as she comes up to you, she caresses the side of your face and leans in for a kiss. And as she does, the pain you've been feeling thus far washes away in an instant. You feel a weight lift off your shoulders as she walks back and disappears into the shadow of the rain. You feel a pent-up rage exhume from inside you, and you feel your consciousness come back as you're lying on the dry dirt floor. You weakly pull yourself off the ground, brushing yourself off and along with all the lies that you've been keeping, revealing your true self. And as you do, the pain flashes away like a lightning strike to the earth, and a force releases from you, blasting away whatever was around you to begin with, whether it was your assailants or nearby bystanders. And you brush off this pain and feeling, and as you get up, you can see kind of the surroundings around you in a blurred vision. You see police starting to arrive and kind of fend off whatever assailants were against you, and one of them comes up to you and helps pick you up off the ground. It was the policeman that you met earlier. But your vision fades, and you pass out. You don't know how much long later, but it's a while later that you do wake up. And you're in an empty room with what looks to be like a wall of not exactly glass, but a barrier of some sorts that is clear and see-through. Inside the room you're in, it's made of steel, and there's a couple beds and, a toilet and a sink off to the side. You're not sure where you are, but you kind of recognize it as some sort of holding cell. You're not sure where, but whether it's for questioning or for whatever reason, you're stuck in a prison.
Okay.
But that's where we come to the end of the Pathway of the Broken.
Damn. God damn it. Damn. I feel like I have this weird pressure now.
I was gonna say, if I got kind of regained my hit points for a second,
Yeah.
and then I'm like, I'm just gonna fucking let go.
No.
I'm just gonna let go. I'm gonna fucking, as soon as if there's somebody standing over me, they were gonna get a fucking energy ray to the face. I didn't care at that point. Fuck you.
Fuck 'em.
You're dead. Fuck everybody around me.
what you do, you're gonna end up screwed.
Yeah.
I saw that coming from the beginning. I was like, he is.
Yeah.
I was like, he could be rolling nat 20s and he's still gonna end up getting fucked.
I'm sure you had set different directions that it could go.
Mm.
Depending on what I rolled.
Yeah.
The end result was the same though, no matter what for him, huh?